Timestamp and gap code part 2. We have talked a lot about what sticks out, and here's how I do the whole message. Okay, so here's some examples. I will write down both tweets and time. This is an example. Find these tweets and use your timestamps, even if yours is different than mine. Remember, it doesn't really matter. Now, if these tweets got deleted or retweeted, there's nothing I can do about that. So I've got these written down. Tweet number 1 was on November 30th at 6:45 my local time. You're going to have 45 just like mine. Another kind of, I don't know, maybe a clue, 45. So Donald J. Trump tweeted out, just signed one of the most important. We can read this on your own, okay? What time is your timestamp? You're going to have the 45s the same. So that's the tweet. Let's see what we can do moving forward on this. So get yourself a blank piece of paper, and in this spot write down whatever your timestamp is, just like mine is right here. So you got 6:45 on a blank piece of paper. Next, I will put down the next tweet that we will look at. This is going to be the second tweet. Tweet number 2 is also on the November 29th. Mine was at 7:31 my time. Yours will still have this 31 minutes. Okay, so we got Donald J. Trump once again arrived in Argentina. So we know which day this is now that we look at this, when he went down there. And there's the tweet. You can read it yourself. It was on the 29th of November, okay? What time is your timestamp? Mine was at 7:31. We're going over this many times just to keep going over it, so we get it. Put it down on your blank piece of paper. Put it down here, okay? 7:31. My first one was 6:45. The 31's the same as yours, and the 41's the same as yours, okay? Now, so on your blank piece of paper, you have 2 sets of numbers, boom and boom. Who cares if the numbers are different, right? Just notice the minute's the same and the time separation is the same, right? I mean, this is what it's all about. We don't care about the timestamp. We want the time difference in between the tweets, okay? So why did I pick these 2 tweets? Well, the first one just happened, and I'm waiting with a blank paper. And I'm waiting with a blank paper, waiting. So I read it. Remember, we want the clues. Do you see any? Your numbers are different, but let's use mine. When I look and see, first is in tweet example number 1 is the timestamp. See anything? Like I said, 6:45. It's just a clue. I don't know. First clue, heads up. Second clue I see is when he wrote just signed, because of just. I think, new starting point. Let's check. What else does it say? Remember, there is more, but watch first and last. That's the first sentence and the last sentence. There's a lot of times those 2 parts will hook up, and you'll see that that's a message right there in itself, okay? And then the stuff in between is just, it's real, but a lot of times there's a lot of things between the first and the last sentence that really start to hook up, okay? And so what did it say on this one? It was fantastic for all. Now, we have to go back. Let me double check. There we go. The very last sentence was for fantastic for all. Okay, so that's how, as you can tell, I'm doing all this on the fly. I like doing everything just on the cuff. So, fantastic for all. Now, we know he is in Argentina right now. So big clue, last word, all, okay? So now I have my brain thinking, what clues do I have? Well, the first one said 45. Second one is I see more than you do right now, but let's just pick the ones that I'm talking about, which was the last word, all, okay? He's out of the country was my other third clue, okay? So you can see how there's many more clues, right? We're getting there, okay? This is how I read the clues. 45 wants to say something. Now, what is it he wants to say? He's out of the country, and I see just, okay, as a new starting point. And it's the first word, right? There we go. Once again, bring this back. First word, just. Okay. Like I said, I'm just telling you how I do it. I see just as a new starting point. First word. This is, what is the last word? All. First and last, just all. Bing, got it. Do you? He's out of the country, new starting point, just all. I think all tweets out of country or first tweet of the day. There we go. So that's why I'm thinking all now. I've gotten it down. I will skip all others and go to this one. So I go and look and perfect. It says arrived. So this is why I picked tweet number 2. Or, after a while you know. So your page is still blank right now, right? We still got just the 2 numbers. This is why I picked these. I skipped all of them because it was just all day, just all day. Boom, got it. Okay, went back and looked, arrived. He's out of the country. So now I have the 2 tweets and a clue. Let's see if I'm right. Tweet 2 was important earlier, but now we will use as a starting point, from A to B to find a gap. The first tweet of the day, timestamps, is at 7:31. Remember, once again, the minutes are the same. So now I have a place to arrive at. Start of the day. His, not mine or yours. It's just his start of the day because he was out of the country. So very easy to be able to prove that, he was out of the country. He says he's starting his day down there, and there we are. Take the last tweet, tweet number 1, his last, first and last. First tweet of the day, his last tweet of the day that he just did just now, which gave us the clue to go look back at number A for arrive. Okay, so now can you at least see why I'm thinking on those 2, right? There's a lot going on. There's, you're thinking all kinds of different things, but there's clues everywhere. That's where I've got that, where I was at. Now, let's see and use your paper. You will have 2 timestamps written down, and they look like this. 6:45, 7:31, blah, blah. Numbers are the same. Okay, got that. Now, this is how we find the timestamp and gap code works. We use the clues, and we now know the formula. So let's see what happens. I'm using my numbers, you're using your numbers. Here we go. So your page will look a lot like mine, but no words. Remember, 6:45, 7:31. Just use my example, write your numbers, very easy. How much time between these 2 tweets? I get 11 hours and 14 minutes. If yours is the same, we're on to something, right? Moving forward. Same as yours. We just cracked the code. Do you feel it? Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what the hours are. It doesn't matter the timestamp. The gap in between the 2 are the same. No matter where you are in the world, it's the same. So yours will look like this. No need for the words. Just here's your timestamps, right? So we've got a gap between the 2, which is 11:14. It's 11 and 15 minutes, or excuse me, 11:14. Remember, I'm doing this on the fly. So now, okay, here we go. Now we can all agree on a timestamp. This is really super amazing. You know what I'm saying? We at least got the gap that we can agree on. So let's move on. I will now show the part to find the message. To learn how to go to my Twitter page, which here we are, huh? And here we go. As I say, the distance is not what we want. We want the gap. So the distance is 11 hours and 14 minutes, yes? But we want the gap. So it's 11 hours and 13 minutes, right? Not the distance, the gap. Now let's see. Now let's go and see what Q drop 113 says. First and last line. This was sent today. What was it? Well, we got that. I'm going to shut this up. So there's the example, Q113. God bless all patriots out there.